Sorry, we didn't shoot a video yesterday. We've been super busy here in the youth office. We're remodeling the entire thing, creating an after-school program, a place to hang out, chill on the weekends. We're super excited. We have a little cafe and huge TV and a sitting area. So we've been working. Yesterday we got here at 6 for stuff, and then we all the way till about 6 o'clock last night. So it's been busy, exciting but busy, and I didn't have time to shoot a little Devo yesterday. So sorry. But I took time to stop from putting in flooring to just give you guys a couple thoughts that have kind of been on my heart these last couple days. And one of the things is we're all working on building this relationship with God. I think one of the key aspects is what our motives are. Why? Are you doing the right things because you feel obligated to do them and avoiding the wrong things because you feel obligated, or because there's a desire? I think about my relationship with Kate and my family. The moment that Caitlin feels like I have to force myself to be with her, it automatically devalues our relationship. She now feels like she's a burden to me rather than somebody that I choose to be with. Think about any boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. They want to be around each other so much it's sick. It's almost disgusting. They're constantly together. If they're not together, they're texting their Facebook, and they always have to be talking. And I think that that's what God desires for us. He has no desire to obligate us into anything. His heart is that we would be so moved by His love and His grace that we would be motivated to live for Him and to do the things He's called us to do. And, you see this in 1 Peter. This is 1 Peter 1. And this is verses 3 through about 16. And what he says here in verses 3 through 12 is he's painting this picture that we're saved by grace. You were forgiven freely. It says here in verse 3, "Praise be to God the Father of Jesus. In His mercy He has given us new birth into a living hope." It's in His mercy that we have that, not because I only said 4 cuss words today instead of 10, and now because of that I'm a good person and I get to go now. It's not because I've accomplished something. It's not because I did my devotions every day for a week. It's not because I avoided getting drunk on the weekends. None of that has anything to do with salvation. It's completely based on God and His ability to forgive and to give mercy to us. Now, the cool part about that, though, is in verse 13, after he paints this picture from verses 3 to 12 of the freedom of salvation, he now says, therefore, basically in light of that, since, because it's free, prepare your minds for action, be self-controlled, set your hope fully on the grace to be given you when Jesus is revealed. And as obedient children, do not conform to the evil desires you had when you lived in ignorance. But just as He who called you is holy, so be holy in all you do. For it is written, be holy because I am holy. See, what I believe that he's saying is, be so moved by grace that it motivates you to live right. Be so moved by God's forgiveness that it drives you to want to spend time with Him. That the 15 minutes a day, 5, 5, and 5, quickly turns into 20 and 25 and more and more time every single time you sit down. That it's this evolving relationship that just draws you there. That when you sense the reality of His grace and His forgiveness, it motivates you. And I love what he says because it's so true. It says, prepare your minds for action. It is a battle of our mind. It's a battle of our thoughts. And that's why we've been talking about these 24-hour challenges in 15 minutes a day, because we've got to restructure our mind. Our minds haven't been built on the right things all the time, and time in God's presence, time praying, and time doing devotions every day. That begins to reshape our mind, and it prepares us for the battle of that's going to go on in our minds. Be self-controlled. Set your hope on grace. And I love that. To set your hope on what God can do, not what you can do. Set your hope on who He is, not who we are. And then giving us that challenge to be holy as He who's called us is holy. I think a lot of times we have this idea that we're always going to struggle. We're always going to have problems. We're always going to have these sins. And it's true. We're always going to have certain things. But I believe there's victory to be had. I believe we can win. I believe, guys, if you're struggling with masturbation and pornography, I believe God can give you the strength to heal that. He wouldn't call you to be holy as He is if it wasn't a possibility. I believe that we can have strength and belief and confidence in ourselves. It may take time. It may take lots of preparing our minds for action, being self-controlled. But I believe in the end we can achieve that, and that God has called us to do that. And so let's be motivated by His love to live for Him today.